grown-ups were once children, but only few of them remember it. This is a story that has touched hearts for generations, a timeless tale about love, loss, and seeing the world not just with our eyes, but with our hearts. It begins, as many great stories do, with a journey. Our narrator, a pilot, finds himself lost and alone in the vast, unforgiving Sahara Desert. His plane has crashed, and with only enough water for a few days, his situation seems hopeless. But it is here, in the middle of nowhere, that he meets a most extraordinary person, a small boy with golden hair, who seems to have appeared out of thin air. This is the story of that pilot, and a mysterious little prince who changes his life forever. The first thing the little prince asks for is not water or food, but something far more peculiar, if you please. "Draw me a sheep," he insists. Confused, the pilot tries his best, but his drawings are rejected one by one. Finally, in frustration, he draws a simple box and tells the boy the sheep is inside. To his astonishment, the little prince's face lights up with joy. This was exactly the sheep he wanted, one he could imagine, one that could live inside a box, a friend for his tiny home. The little prince's home, he explains, is a planet barely larger than a house. An asteroid known as B612. It's a quiet place with 3 small volcanoes, 2 active and 1 extinct, which he diligently cleans every day. His daily routine also includes watching the sunset, which he can do dozens of times just by moving his chair a few steps. But the most important part of his world is a single, beautiful rose that bloomed one day. The little prince cared for his rose with all his heart, watering her, protecting her from the wind with a screen, and covering her with a glass globe at night. He loved her deeply. However, the rose was as proud and demanding as she was beautiful. She filled his world with fragrance and light, but she also filled it with doubt and confusion. Her words, often contradictory and vain, began to trouble the little prince. He took her trivial complaints to heart, feeling unhappy and lonely despite his love for her, believing he needed to see more of the universe to understand. The little prince made the difficult decision to leave his planet and his rose behind. He did unto realize then that he was running away from the very thing that made his world special. His journey took him to a series of nearby asteroids, each inhabited by a solitary, peculiar adult. He met a king with no subjects who believed he ruled over the stars. He met a vain man who only wanted admiration. A businessman endlessly counting the stars he claimed to own, and a lamplighter on a tiny planet, forced to light and extinguish his lamp every single minute. On each planet, the little prince encountered grown-ups who were so consumed by their own small worlds of numbers, vanity, and empty authority that they had forgotten what truly matters in life. Finally, the little prince arrived on Earth. It was a vast, lonely place, so much bigger than anything he had ever known. The first creature he met was a snake in the desert who spoke in riddles, hinting at a power to send him back to where he came from, a final journey home. Continuing his exploration, he came across a fox. The fox didn't want to play, he wanted to be tamed. He taught the little prince one of the most important secrets of all. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. The time he spent taming the fox made the fox unique and special to him. This lesson hit home when the little prince stumbled upon a garden filled with thousands of roses, all looking just like his. At first, he was heartbroken. He had believed his rose was one of a kind in all the universe. But as he remembered the fox's words, he understood it was the time he had spent caring for his rose, the patience, the arguments, and the love that made her his rose. She was not unique because of her appearance, but because she was the one he had tamed, the one he was responsible for. She mattered most because she was his. A year after his arrival on Earth, the little prince knew it was time to return. His body was too heavy to take back to his tiny planet. He found the snake again, understanding the serpent's cryptic offer. Under the stars, in the quiet of the desert night, he said a silent goodbye to the pilot. It was not an end, but a transformation. The little prince let the snake help him, leaving behind his physical form like an old empty shell, so his spirit could return to his star and his beloved rose. The pilot was left alone again, but his world was forever changed. He learned to see beyond what was visible, to find meaning in the stars. The little prince promised him that whenever he looked at the night sky, it wouldn't be just empty space. He would hear the laughter of the little prince among the stars, a secret gift just for him. And so, this story reminds us that if you love a flower that lives on a star, it is sweet to look at the sky at night. All the stars are abloom with flowers. It's a story for children and for the child that still lives within every adult. Thank you for watching.